Okay, so question number 6. I have this square root. I've got something times, so I've got a times the square root of x, where a happens to be 1 on root 2. So the domain and the rule. So the domain and the rule for the inverse. So my original is going to be a square root that will look like this, but it's got a restricted domain of 0 to 2. If I put 2 in, 1 on root 2 times root 2 gives 1. So it's going to finish there at 1. So of f, the domain of f is 0 to 2. The range of f is 0 to 1. So the domain of the inverse is 0 to 1. So I've got one of my 2 marks. So if y equals 1 on root 2 root x, the inverse will be x equals 1 on root 2 root y. So root 2x equals root y, y equals 2x squared. So the inverse of x equals 2x squared. And the domain is 1 to 0, 0 to 1, I apologise. Okay, so the graph of f has been drawn for me. I didn't need to do all that working out, I could have looked down here. And I'm then going to draw, on the graph, draw the inverse. So the inverse is going to, so it's going to go to 1 and 2. And this point here, which is at a half and a half, is where it's going to go through. And I'm going to have a curve that will look like that. So that is the inverse of x, and it's going to be at 1 and 2, and that's at a half and a half. Label the endpoints, did that, 0, 0, and the point of intersection giving their coordinates, done. So for 2 marks, beautiful.